So I thought this would be interesting to look at. This is well, this essentially. So this is the custom bike I had made a while ago, basically like 2010, 2011, something like that. And the bike was made by a friend of mine, and it's a classic lug steel road bike with a few unique features. So I actually made one that ended up painted a similar color, just without the off-white panels. Mine's all red. And mine had exterior mounted fastback stays and clearance for really wide tires and an extended head tube lug. It also had a cutout here and some other things. This is a much more traditional road frame. You'll notice the normal chain stays, etc. But it does have clearance for much wider tires, which is reinforced by the use of the Cane Creek brakes. The Cane Creek brakes, you look at how I'm holding this bike, I've stuck my fingers in there. They have a lot of clearance above and around the standard 700 by 32 road tire. So this could definitely fit up to 28s and was designed with the idea that it could fit up to 32s, hopefully. I haven't tried it yet, but that's because it's got these Vredensteins on there and they're really cool. Bike came with the SRAM Apex group that I had ordered for the occasion. I was trying to keep it budget, but I didn't want Shimano, and I wasn't really into the new campy stuff. The other thing I realized is that I wanted the ability to run really big rear gears and possibly to have a compact in the front. So what I ended up with is the advantage of the SRAM Apex is the what they call mid-range derailleur. It's not as long as the derailleur on a triple, but it's long enough to run wider gears. So you look at these gears on the back. Now this, if I go all the way to the end, this stretches it to its limit. But it actually works with these gears. And when you think about it, that's fracking amazing, right? Now originally it had a little smaller gears than this, and I actually went and I specifically got a mountain bike gear set and put it on there because I wanted at the time, the people I was riding with, the crowd from the local bike shop, were doing a lot of really hilly rides. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to walk up walls like Spidey Man. And that's really what this group was designed for. This was designed for the cyclocross crowd. This was designed for the touring bike crowd. Somebody who might go, on a long road ride, but, wasn't trying to go necessarily really, really, really fast. Didn't see themselves as the next, Jan Ulrich or whatever, but just wanted to do their thing and maybe might be taking a hilly route. So, what are the things about this? Well, it has a threaded traditional one-inch steerer. Now, the stem that's on here is a threadless stem with an adapter. That's because I basically I didn't have a regular stem with the rise I wanted. Normal drop bars, a lot of these ergo bars with the weird bends, they may or may not be comfortable. They definitely look funky, and I just wanted something I don't want to say a little more normal, because there's nothing normal about a custom bike like this, but I wanted something, a more traditional curved road bars. I also wanted something with a shallow drop so I could use the bars, which is why I wanted a stem also with a slight rise. That way I could use all the hand positions, including the drops, more frequently. Traditional flat crown fork. There's a little interesting thing here. There's these cable guides braced onto the front, the lug there. The idea is to keep these from rubbing. Fork blades and chain stays were made using the thick parts of the tubing. Basically, when you get the tubing for that, it comes tapered, and you can choose which end to cut off and not use. Do you use the long end or the end with the wider diameter, or the end with the narrower diameter? And if you go with the narrower diameter, obviously, if that's what you're cutting off, you're going to be using the the wider end, then it's going to be a wider diameter tubing. It's going to be stouter, stronger, etc. You go with the other one, it's going to be smaller and lighter and so on and so forth. Well, I was thinner back then, but I wasn't really skinny, so we went with the wider ones, and it just makes it a little stouter. Yeah, it came out pretty good all told. Now, my friend Steve made this one, the other red bike I have, the other red steel bike, the one with the fastback stage and stuff. That one I made. He made the fork and did some of the little bitty work on it, the fittings, but I made the main frame for that. And I basically made it according to the geometry from this bike. So, when he did a drawing based on what I wrote down, and we used that as reference when setting up for the one that I built. But obviously his brazing work and stuff is a hell of a lot better than mine. And this bike is definitely more of a traditional road bike than the one I built. But nevertheless, I love this thing. It's probably the best riding bike I own. The only one that comes close is the one I made, and that's not because I'm not saying that because I made it. I'm saying it because it was based on the same geometry. So there's going to be a similarity there in how it rides. But yeah, overall, this is pretty cool. It's an interesting blend of the old with the new, or what was new at the time. You'll notice I even have horizontal dropouts, so I can slightly tweak the wheelbase if I want to, give a little more clearance, because let's say I'm mounting a fender or I'm using wider tires. Or indeed, if I decide to set it up as a single speed someday, or have to, I can, adjust the chain tension by moving the wheel. So, Lone Rider out. That's the custom Willis from 2011, I think. And yeah, just wanted to give a little overview of that thing. Stay cool.